And here we are, Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. In fact, that is. We're the BrunchBusters. It's the Bust Bowl. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm Bobby Munson. Chris Parrish, how you doing? This is going to be a fun day.
Dun, 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 dun.
And that kick-ass opening, by the way. Great job on that. That looked fantastic.
Thank you. It's about time we put our ugly mugs on something, right?
Back in the days when I still had hair on the face.
Yeah, that was just yesterday when like I grew this just within a day. So
that was my 5 o'clock shadow.
That was me 3 hours ago. I finally hit puberty. I'm here 36 years in life.
It's kind of awkward.
But you know what is awkward? We're actually doing busting out on Super Bowl Sunday, which for the first time ever, we're seeing a game played with a brother on each team. Talk about being that parent. Who are you cheering for? Kind of awkward.
Yeah, it's kind of go out there. It's like, yeah, you can't take sides, but of course the winner is going to get cheers and jeers, or cheers actually, and the loser is going to get jeers on the ride home with mom and dad.
Yeah, I was actually like looking at some stats. It's kind of weird. So both the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs, same record going into this game, scored the same amount of points going into this game. They have a Pro Bowl quarterback. They have a Kelsey brother, and they're playing each other in the Super Bowl. That's kind of weird.
That's going to be one wild conversation around the family table.
Yeah. So if you're watching the Super Bowl and you're going to partake in a little bit of tailgating, please do it responsibly.
Yes.
And that is what we have to say professionally. But if you're asking us personally, go have a good time. Go have a good time.
Just don't drink and drive. Make sure you've got some sort of ride or Lyft or Uber or whatever you're using these days. As long as you got that, that's responsible enough.
Whether it's like a horse carriage. Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, you could have a beer, a whiskey, a vodka, a gin, a rum, a soda, whatever you want.
A what? But yeah, we kind of really don't have much of a plan other than just having fun with the fact that it's Super Bowl Sunday. But at the same time, we thought it was a good idea to kind of reminisce of some of maybe the football editions in the world of professional wrestling, because boy, are there a lot, as we see the hottest act in WWE right now, Roman Reigns, once played in the Canadian Football League and was on the Minnesota Vikings practice roster.
Yeah. Yes. Joe Anawahi was nice enough to grace us here in Canada with his time before becoming the god that he is nowadays and everything like that. Not quite the impactful god on the football field that he has been inside the wrestling ring, but not bad either.
Yeah, who would have thought that everybody wanted to see Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania, and you're like, you know what? That could have been a hell of a game in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, but poor Dwayne didn't even make it quite as far as Joe did when it came to his time in the Canadian Football League.
Yeah, God forbid that he didn't have a successful Canadian football career and chose another option. But I kind of wanted to go and switch this to you because, like, I wanted to ask you who is kind of like your favorite football player turned professional wrestler?
Well, see here, I was up really late last night trying to do some research for this show because, I'm not up and up on all things sports, but I did some good research and I found about 5 that really came to mind when it came to football and professional wrestling. Have you ever heard of the great, fantastic footballer, Messi the Body Ventura? Ooh, yes. Very, 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 very great transition.
Sponsored by the ever-famous Rakuten.
Very great transition into the sport nowadays. You want to go back way far, though. I mean, we're talking about some of the greatest of all time. You got George the Animal Best, one of the fantastic Manchester United players of all time. Yep.
Not to mistake it with.
And then Pele Morales, of course. Not to mistake it with who, sorry?
Oh, no, George the Animal Best. Not to make mistake it for heel Kevin's.
Yes.
Through marriage family member, George the Animal Steel. They are nothing alike by any means. No. We also want to just throw it in the chat that if you have any favorites, let us know. These are just some of Bobby's favorites.
And, of course, like, it was really tough to see this one, but we got Ronaldinho.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, strikes a resemblance to somebody on Manchester, but that's all I'll say.
And last but not least, my absolute favorite of them all time. Have you ever heard of the great footballer, Beckham Lynch?
Oh. Man, that is the man right there.
That really is, yes.
I mean, probably the leading goal scorer of the non-made-up football league.
Yeah, that's the best league in the free made-up world.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, I was obviously looking, and like, there's a lot of football resemblance in the WWE, let alone multiple other companies. But I mean, did you know that Stu Hart also played in the Canadian Football League?
I did know that, actually, because of my good colleague there, partner in crime, Papa Smokes. I've learned quite a bit about professional wrestling history and, of course, about the Hart family. And yes, Stu Hart also graced that Canadian Football League.
Did you know Commander Aziz used to play for the Minnesota Vikings?
Up until Thursday night, I did not know when behind the scenes after Ring Respect Radio, you came in and we were having a conversation. You mentioned it.
Yeah. In fact, one actually used to be a 4 horseman. Steve Mongo McMichael.
Yes.
That
was clearly one of the ones that used, transitioned very, very well. That's the thing. Like, it had a reasonably successful run on both sides.
Yeah, and like it's really funny because we could just name these from nostalgic reasons, but like at the same time, like it is a transition. Like, it is very difficult to be good at one sport. And I know like a lot of these people were naming, like the ones that were, poking fun at the ones that play Canadian Football League. Yeah, I mean, we clearly know that, the NFL is the higher league. It's the league where, you make more money, you get more stardom, you get more famous. But to make it in a professional league in anything takes a special athlete. But to then cross over and be great in something like professional wrestling, which, I mean, Ronda Rousey has shown it's not the easiest thing to do. But at some point, like, it is quite amazing. And like one of my all-time favorite matches for WrestleMania was Lawrence Taylor versus Bam Bam Bigelow. And I couldn't be hard pressed to think like what not only can we talk about like famous players that they crossover, but do you have any matches of them that stand out? And I don't want to say like, the Bray Wyatts or the Baron Corbett's, but like actual football players that turned into professional wrestling, because I still think Lawrence Taylor might still be one of the greatest one-off celebrity matches out there. But holy crap, did that get you from an emotional level as much as the story itself actually drew you in as well.
Yeah, a lot of that is accolades to Bam Bam Bigelow and what he brings to the table all the time. But the reason it works so well with Lawrence Taylor, I find, is that they didn't try to make him somebody that exposed the ability to learn how to be, a great professional wrestler or somebody who can go through all the maneuvers, do everything. Lawrence Taylor didn't go in there with any flash or anything of any kind. I mean, really, he was doing football related maneuvers in order to try to take down a professional wrestler in Bam Bam Bigelow. But the fact that they got him to work in that style and put it together the way they did, it was nicely done. And that's why yourself, myself, and a lot of people still fondly remember that celebrity matchup or that, because again, it didn't ruin or expose anything about professional wrestling by having Lawrence Taylor go in there and start, hitting Canadian destroyers or something like that in the middle of a match.
Yeah, and what I think too might just be more of a generational thing, but they clearly understood that Lawrence Taylor had limitations when it came to the moves. And a lot of respect goes out to somebody like Bam Bam Bigelow, who was the counterpart in that match. But we were able to see Lawrence Taylor exercise things he did well and make them count. Just even by that one, jumping off the second with that big forearm, kind of like a shoulder block, almost like you would do on the field, but they translate that and transition that into what it could be into the wrestling world, and he does that very well. He made it look very believable, and I think that's what kind of took it. Like, it was not a long match by any means, but the things they did made sense, and they were believable, which I think in essence really makes a great wrestling match.
And it didn't undermine Bam Bam Bigelow. It didn't make him look like a chump. It didn't, hurt his career by any means or anything like that to put Lawrence Taylor over in the capacity that he did. It was well put together. And again, that is also credit to the agents who put it together and had some reservations about how they allowed this to go out there and be presented.
Now, we kind of touched on Mongo McMichael. I don't know how much of WCW you watched. I didn't get to watch as much of it until it got into Canada. But if you did, how important was he to the Four Horsemen?
That's a really good question. And, I did watch WCW always. I put a lot of effort into supporting them just as much as WWE, although I was more a WWE guy, WWF. I don't know. He was never the one.
Get the F out. You too.
Yeah,
no.
Mongo was never like the guy by any means. Like, he's never a standout guy, but his presence wasn't unwarranted, and it didn't cause any harm or anything like that. But he's kind of, when it comes to a stable and you got four guys and you need a fall guy, Mongo was a good fall guy for the group.
he definitely had moments, like some comedic moments, some oh my god, like he is definitely a meme online for some of the stupid things. Like the one thing you got to give it to him, he was definitely animated.
Oh yeah,
he definitely had fun selling, as you will.
Yeah.
But
Nothing about him offended me by any means.
No.
Like there's no harm in what he did at all.
He's definitely someone that took to the art of the entertainment side to professional wrestling. Like I think it was safe to say he was never going to be at like the Arn Andersons, the Ric Flairs, even like the Chris Benoits when they were there. Like he was never going to be technically the best professional wrestler move, but what he could be was one of the better characters and one of the more entertaining aspects of the group. And I thought he brought a completely different element to the Four Horsemen than a lot of the people prior to him, and even that came after him, to be quite honest. But just the level of charismatic energy that he brought in was just different, because it's hard to live in the shadow of Ric Flair, arguably the potential greatest of all time. But it's one of those things where you have to also understand, okay, what can I bring to this that these guys can't? And I thought he did a very good job of doing that, because without him, like you can definitely say there was probably a hole in that group if he wasn't there.
Yep. No, I 100% agree with you again too. I'm not saying that there was a better option that should have been there instead of him or anything of that kind of sort. It's just like when you're assessing the group as a whole and stuff like that, you look at him as the guy that if they need to send up someone out there to take a fall for the team, he's likely going to be the right guy for the job, because it's not going to affect his positioning or anything like that. It's never going to be detrimental to have him take a fall, especially when feuding against, top quality main event players, because that's where they position the Horsemen. They were always in a top main event spot.
Yeah, and then obviously, like you and I both know that if you're able to take a loss, or you're that guy, but you're still able to come back and still have the people behind you, or still have that capability from the audience, like that takes a special performer. And the fact that he was able to do that, I think, says a lot about what he was able to bring to the table as well, because there's no denying that, like, you're not going to give Ric Flair all of these L's. You're going to probably choose someone else, and he definitely was at someone else. But at the end of the day, like, man, like, you got to take a job and run with it, or else it's never going to work. And kudos to him and what he's done for that. But I'm just kind of looking at more names. And it just, man, like, the list is just gigantic. Another one that I wanted to bring, because I know you were having the European football references there.
The European.
So I have one of both, and that is the late, great flying Brian Pillman.
I did not know that he was on
another member of the Four Horsemen.
Yes, indeed. That's actually a fact I did not know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we all know that, in the NFL, he, played around the Cincinnati Bengals, who I did tell people that in the playoffs, I did trade my Who-Dat for a Who-Day, but my Who-Dat, the Who-Day also failed me this year. So yeah, it was different. But, I mean, Brian Pillman wasn't like a highly touted soccer player, but he definitely played a lot of soccer, growing up. I think he did have, I know he walked on to the University of Miami, if I'm not believed, with a scholarship, but for American football. But yeah, to know that he actually has the European like football, soccer, as we say in Canada a little bit. I think that's pretty amazing. Like, and I know like Lex Luger is also that, like, kind of like that. They dabbled in both. But talking about, like Brian Pillman, like, transitioning from Mongo, where do you rank Brian Pillman in terms of professional wrestling scene, because I still think this guy deserves a nod in the Hall of Fame. Not from the
okay, so he's not in. Okay, I was going to ask you that. So he's not in on his own. Well, that's
in the Hart Foundation.
I am a huge fan of.
Could be wrong.
Brian Pillman. Always was, from the moment I saw his work and the continued growth I saw out of him. I was always intrigued. I liked this guy. I liked what he did. You know, I find, and again, watching his son nowadays too, the progression he's made reminds me of the progression of his dad. Maybe his dad picked it up just a little bit quicker, but you can even see Brian Pillman Jr. starting to go down that same path of, you know, starting to understand it, picking it up, and really delivering. So yeah, Brian Pillman ranks very, very high for me, as we are being joined. Mel Ball joining us, and gentlemen,
what up?
How's it going? Thank you for coming to our tailgate party. What's your favorite tailgating food?
Oh, wings. Has to be wings.
Oh yeah.
Wings or burgers. I mean, actually,
yeah.
Let me correct myself. Who am I mistaken? It's beer.
I did say food, not beverage. Beer is just a given.
Hey.
But
the first part of this video is make sure, like, do you have a drink?
So there's these two.
And right now I'm actually drinking one of our good old friend Carl's non-sponsored Dr. Peppers.
A non-sponsored Dr. Pepper spot. It's the lights on Dr. Pepper episode of Bustin' Out.
Hey, there are 32 teams in the NFL. There's 32 flavors in the non-sponsored Dr. Pepper. Coincidence?
Let us keep that PG. There's nothing PG about what we've done on this show ever.
There's a reason why, like, you only see my belly button up. I don't wear pants, people.
Now you know.
No.
But
how's
yeah,
that for PG, Mel?
It sounds pretty good to me. Anyway,
that's tailgating off a different set of rails.
Now back to chicken wings. So chicken wings. So get these packs of chicken wings from the store.
That's what you got out of this. Okay.
Either Greek flavored, or you get the dill pickle flavored ones. Throw them in the air fryer. 25 minutes. Crispy, perfect, beautiful. That's a tailgate party.
I'm surprised you're not putting ketchup on or butter on.
No, wings. Come on. That's only on French fries that have been sat at the end of your plate. Delicious food time. Here on Bustin' Out.
No, I think, like, on tailgating, you need finger food, right? Your chips, your wings, like
nachos, of course,
like snacks, yeah, nachos. You know what? Like, yeah, you can have fries, or like, hell, even poutine if you want. All right, even something like small, but like, yeah, you definitely get a lot of burgers. You get a lot of ribs. I mean, anything you can put on a barbecue, I think it's definitely there. Yeah, I mean, come on, you have to have beer.
Well, yeah, that's a given. I mean, I might not be drinking beer, but I'm not saying there's nothing. Coffee.
It's exactly what a drunken John Cena would say. The champ is beer.
Oh, that needs to. Can we order a cameo from John Cena just saying that for us? That would be great. Just a
when he had that Pabst Blue Ribbon like knockoff shirt, like, he 100% should have had that as the tagline on it.
The champ is beer. What a great slogan! I love it.
It just writes itself.
All these things.
I mean, talk about an attitude adjustment. There's a couple of the Pabst Blue Ribbon. Oh, yep, you're gonna have an attitude adjustment for sure.
Yeah. So does
it surprise you that in Canada, like, when you go to watch like a Canadian football game, like, tailgating is just not as big as, like, like I've been to a Pro Bowl in the States, and I was blown away, just blown away with tailgating down there because they do it on a different level. That I'm just like, okay, we take pride in drinking in cold weather. We have a football game, championship football game in November.
Yeah.
When it's minus. Why the hell are you playing football right now?
Especially when they host it in Saskatchewan.
Everybody's drinking beer in the stadium, but nobody decides to do it at the back of their pickup truck outside before the game and have a party. Like, it blows my mind that Canada does not just take this tailgating aspect and just do it absolutely insane.
Yo, boys, who you got, Munson? That's in that football game. Hey, I actually have to think to American football. I don't know. I'll go Philly. I'll pick Philly.
You son of a bitch.
Why not? Who do you got, Papa Smokes?
Yeah, everyone, let us know who you have in the football game that goes down later today between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. Are you going to see now? Now this.
Now I've angered my good friends here.
I mean, Papa Smokes knows where it's at, though. It's definitely going to be Kansas City.
Well, this is all fair. You guys know better than I do, anyway. I'm just grasping at straws. You should know better than that. I already watched my football this morning.
So it's actually kind of funny though when you talk about football, because like I'm very weird. Like it's very weird of a fan base. Because one, I'm going to say this: a true football fan only has one team. They don't do this whole, well, I have one team, but then I also like this team. That's a cop out. Like I'm only gonna I'm a guy that I like to cheer for somebody playing just so I can get into the game, right?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a Saints guy through and through, right? Always going to be my team, never any doubt. But when they're not playing, of course I'm going to cheer for other teams. But like I said, if these guys were to play the Bengals and I had to choose between that who day and who dat, it's who dat all the way. Not a question. So it is hilarious to me when like Tom Brady left the Patriots, how many new Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans there were, because all of a sudden people said, "Oh no, Tampa's my favorite team." I'm like, yeah, but you're wearing a Patriots hoodie. Yeah, freaking frosted flake. Come on.
It happens.
So
that's the way some people are. They're fickle, as they say. But it's the same.
God.
I know.
It's not fickle. It's football. Put on your nuts. Be a man.
I know. I don't watch the same football you guys do religiously, anyway. But same with when I'm watching soccer, football, stuff like that too. It's like I'll watch other games. I might be a Manchester United supporter. I'll watch other games and I can respect gameplay from other teams and stuff like that. But the second they're playing United, I'm all F-bombs and everything to say hatred towards the opposing team, even if normally I'm all smiles and, hey, they did a great job today when they play somebody else. But I turn right evil when they play against the team I support.
Oh, yeah. No, and it's to me, I think that's the fun part of football. It's just like wrestling, right? Like you have your guy and you just go all in. Like, can you respect a good match where your guy's not in it? Or can you respect a good game if your team's not in it? Sure. Yeah. At the end of the day, love the product. It's okay to have your favorites.
You know what I don't respect is when my favorite wrestling promotion decides to pull the wool out from under me, or the rug, as they say, and not put an episode of the fucking show. Sorry. Show on as scheduled and screw up mine and Papa Spokes' Thursday night doubleheader.
Flag on the field, Mr. Munson. Back up the chains. That is a 15-yard flagrant foul for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Now, for anybody who doesn't watch our show regularly, it still thinks Parrish is the only one that sends this thing off the rails. You haven't watched in a while.
The fact that I was up at 5 a.m. playing Madden And you're the first one to curse is actually quite hilarious.
I'm passionate, damn it. I'm passionate.
Yeah, for God's sakes, just give me the damn football. The laces were in. They were in. And yes, I'm quoting a lot of Ace Ventura right now.
I know. This is why I'm busting a gut. Busting a gut, I'm busting out.
Oh, and I'm just going to point this out. I know Papa Smoke City has Kansas City, and anybody who doesn't know their logo, it is basically an arrowhead, kind of with KC on it. If you want to make Kansas City Chiefs cookies and you don't know how to make them, if by chance you have the Christmas tree cookie cutter for Christmas, turn that sideways. And don't make the stem all the way in. Use a different thing. Boom, there you go. It's basically the same thing. It's great.
Oh, there it is.
So you're getting baking advice as well on this show. Who would
Look
have
at
thought?
that. Yeah, life hacks with Chris Parrish. I'm busting out.
Dr. Pepper, non-sponsored, but
Same with Tim Hortons, which may or may not contain 100% Tim Hortons.
But you know what we do really enjoy drinking here?
I do.
Yeah. Rogue Energy.
Oh, shit. Maybe I don't then.
Jeez. Language months. So if you go check out rogueenergy.com, use our promo code OLEPODS, you can save 10% off your order. And if you're telling me, but I don't know what I want to get, well, then I say, hey, take 5 minutes and scroll through that website, you lazy bastard. Or just because we're nice, watch this video and you'll see some flavors that might jingle your taste
That's Rogue Energy, folks. RogueEnergy.com.
OLE Pods. Save 10%. Or don't. Spend more money. We're trying to help you. Don't listen to us.
But go through our link still.
But please do. Because
Yeah.
it'll help us make some money. And it'll be nice. I actually just made a purchase. I got the blue raspberry and the moon dust.
Moon Dust. I like that name. That's good.
Had to. I have no idea what it is, but I'm going to try it anyway.
Yeah.
I could have definitely gone and checked it out. I'm just like, yeah, F it. Let's do it.
Gotta rock and roll and do what you can do.
See, I said F it. I didn't commit to this.
I know. So do you like get to take back a flag? Or wait, no, those flags are against me, so I guess not.
Yeah.
But one thing I do need to mention, and I know that I had mentioned this to you a few weeks ago, is
Yep.
I, for the first time in a long time, have to break my Sunday streak of being on stream. I actually am going to be celebrating my 1-year anniversary next Sunday, so unfortunately I won't be joining you guys in a live capacity here on Busted Out. So Parrish, I'll leave you with the task of finding a co-host to join you or taking the solo ride next Sunday.
And if you want to ask to be a co-host, make sure that you email us at olepods@gmail.com. That is the best way of figuring out.
That's right.
I did not expect that to work out as well as it did.
That's how good we work together. I mean, jeez. Whoever you find's got, a big task of screwing up buttons and dropping F-bombs to do next weekend.
Who can fumble their way through this podcast better than Bobby Money Munson? I had to get
It'll be difficult.
It'll be so hard. We'll call you the New York Jets of podcasting.
That's right. But if anybody has any topics they want to talk about, wrestling, football, whatever, bring it up. How about halftime shows? We got Rihanna playing the halftime show. How do you feel about Rihanna's halftime show coming up here today, Parrish?
It'll be great to refill my beer.
Oh man, you don't want to hear some Umbrella while you're partying at halftime?
In the words of Dr. Evil, how about no?
I agree with you. Again, like not my style of music that I'm going to listen to. Not a fan. Nothing. I'm not taking away saying that she's untalented or anything, but it's just not something that interests me personally. Has there ever been like a halftime show that in particular that you recall that stood out like a sore thumb?
Well, I mean, when they had Eminem, Jay-Z, 50 Cent, all that, like for the nostalgic, that was pretty awesome. I don't remember if that was last year or the year before, but I think that was last year. But yeah, that was absolutely iconic. How do you forget Justin Timberlake accidentally ripping off a kitty tassel to Janet Jackson? I mean,
sure, it was an accident.
He was a smooth criminal.
He really was.
But no, I mean, how about you?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm the same. I almost feel like unless there's going to be some like really good rock band or something like that I want to watch, it's anything that I'm going to go out of my way for. Again, live Rihanna performance, I could go watch that any other time. I don't really need to see it today or any day for that matter. Just not interested. Not my cup of tea or my cup of coffee.
Yeah, I know they I know they did like I think it was a Katy Perry one not too long ago. They just had like a collection of her songs, and it was kind of just weird, like just a very weird thing. Like there's people dressed up as sharks, and it just I don't know why. I guess it fits with her videos, but I mean I don't partake in illegal drugs, so I didn't get it. So I have no idea what to think. I just know like she jumped off something and it was just like, okay, that wasn't like cool. I guess that's how it ends. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, and then I'm trying to think. I think it was like the weekend. It seemed like the meme of like them getting lost, getting there. Like, because they're going through the backstage and like just walking like for what seemingly felt forever. So it just felt like he got lost walking to the place.
If you could take any active band currently in the world right now and have them be the halftime show, who would you pick?
See, active's different. I mean, for my taste, I mean, I'm like you. I like a good rock, but oh man, like, I don't know, like putting Queen, I think We Are the Champions needs to be played. If that's not the most iconic song to play in a championship game, I don't know what is. But, oh man, like, I'm just trying to think, like, who is kind of the best act right now? I know, because if you would have gave me like the all time, I would have said Elvis Presley needed to do the halftime show.
Oh, for sure, that's a given. And I don't mean, you say Queen, and yeah, arguably that still can count because they do still actively tour with a different singer now. So,
I mean, I would have loved to see Foo Fighters until earlier this year, but.
Well, they did say they are gonna continue on apparently too. So we're gonna get to that point. Oh, Lord and Astrid.
Hey,
how are you?
I don't.
Welcome to the tailgate.
Who would you choose? Because I mean, there's a lot of different acts. I mean, there's probably one that's going to be like right out there, obvious. But like I said, I've been up since 5 a.m. playing video games.
Well,
so,
like I mean, you could go obvious in terms of longevity and pick a Metallica or somebody like that. But if you want to go with somebody who's like going to give you a good hard rock, but can get the fans pumping and not going to turn them off because it's too extreme, Five Finger Death Punch actually I think could rock a pretty decent halftime show.
yeah, I know. Like say Bruce Dickinson, like Iron Maiden, would be absolutely because like he would run around through that entire stadium. And it would be
Godsmack is another one.
I mean, just give here's money. No, but I'm like also think like who would make a great like act like sense, right? Because I know like the Super Bowl in the NFL, they definitely step out and they do something that is more mainstream. That's kind of why like I'm not a huge rap guy, but when they had the Dre's, the Eminem, and the 50s, and all those guys, man, that was pretty iconic for just the fact that I don't think you'll ever see that group of people performing at one point.
They're amazing.
What up? Thank you for coming in. It's been a hot minute since you've been in a chat.
Far too long.
Here, so
we miss you.
That is so. Yeah. Thank you for joining.
We are welcome to the tailgate.
Yeah, we really have no discussions really out there. We're just, shooting the shit about football and any football wrestling comparisons, but at the same time, if you want to have if you want us to talk about something, just feel free.
In fact, anybody who watches the
we're okay to audibles today.
Yeah. Someone's going to rewatch this thing afterwards and be like, how much did those boys have to drink before going on the air? And the answer is,
I had 2 Kool-Aid Jammers. I had an apple juice. I'm on a Dr. Pepper now. And I'm not even joking. That is what I've had.
Breakfast of champions over on that side of the fence.
See, here are my jammers. My apple juice. And now my non-sponsored Dr. Pepper.
Non-sponsored Dr.
So for whatever reason, I slowly am getting unhealthier as I go.
Retirement's a good look on you.
Because after that, it's definitely an energy drink. And now we're off the rails. Living life dangerously today, people.
That's right.
Super Bowl Sunday.
It's okay. It's just your heart. You got 2 of those.
Right. I'm a black heart, damn it. I'm a winner. I'm a soul survivor. Woo! Did you hear that? Halftime. No, I can't do that because I don't want to slam my head on against the table. Okay, well, let's kind of throw there because we are kind of, I guess I'm kind of going to that. What is your favorite football movie?
Favorite football movie? That is a really good question, actually.
I'm just gonna say, I like me some Varsity Blues.
Well, you know what? That's the one that comes to mind right away, actually. And I know it's probably not necessarily the strongest one of all time, but it's an entertaining one and it's fun. I mean, Draft Day was,
I thought, great. Like Mel and I were actually talking because we were talking Yellowstone because I'm a big Kevin Costner guy who I think nobody does better sport movies than him. And I thought Draft Day was fun. Not believable because the Cleveland Browns will never be smart on Draft Day, but
I see most people probably argue things like Remember the Titans or something like that is
Friday Night Lights,
like Leatherheads with George Clooney or something like that. Friday Night Lights is another one that comes to mind right away there for sure.
I mean, MVP, Air Bud, right? The classics. The Golden Receiver.
No. What was that? What was that classic one? That 90s classic with Ed O'Neill where he's teaching the young misfit group of football players.
The Replacements?
The Little Giants. Little Giants.
Oh, Little Giants. Yeah.
I
was thinking Keanu Reeves, The Replacements.
No, that's another one as well too. But I mean, there's been lots over time for sure.
I mean, what's Any Given Sunday? That's a really good one as well.
There
actually,
we go.
it's just, A lot of good football. I think some of my favorite like movies over time have been like sport movies. I mean, for whatever reason, I'm not a huge baseball guy, but I love some good baseball movies. But yeah, I think though too, like kind of just like wrestling, there is a different kind of just love in the art of sports that somehow like sports in a weird way can be dramatic and can be calm or comedic. It can be romantic at times. Like it is all of that. And that's kind of like in a way, like I'm going to throw back into wrestling. That's why I loved the Cody Rhodes now, because like he's bringing that romantic part of wrestling back. And I'm kind of now missing that in my sports, because it seems like sports is being too mainstream, too flashy, too gimmicky, we'll say.
They're putting the entertainment back in their football.
Well, yeah, because the running joke now is that the NFL is all scripted, right? Kind of like the wrestling. And what I find is really funny is you're seeing so much jokes about it through the players. Like they had the Pro Bowl last week, and people are gearing up, and like you're hearing the trash talk. Like, okay, guys, did you guys read your script? You know what the next play is if you read your scripts. I saw like one.
If it's scripted,
yeah, like Julian Edelman was he was making fun of this. It was actually really funny. He's like, yeah, apparently this is like scripted. So I go back to this Super Bowl where we were down 28-3 going into the fourth, and the script said we're gonna make this remarkable comeback. He's like, nobody's gonna believe this, but thank you, we did this, and he made an insane catch that game as well. But he's like, yeah, and then they had me the script for the next year, and I guess I had to tear my ACL. So, oh man, yeah, scripts can be tough at times.
Well, also, if it's scripted, what did the Saints do to piss off upper management?
Listen, it's probably the same reason why it took Christian so long to win his world title too. Had nothing to do with the talent. It's just there's something with it. Yeah,
it's fair. I had to go.
What's the next topic, Bobby? You struck a chord, damn you.
Next topic, I don't know. You know what? I know what the next topic is. The next topic is we have a lot of great things going on here in our local establishment. Not just this show, but many other shows as well, too, from many great contributors. So we got a big week coming up. Check out what's coming up this week from OLE. Or don't, because apparently the music's not working on there. So we will just cut back from that, and I've got some calendar fixing to do for you guys, unfortunately. So I will get back to fixing that up very, very soon as Parrish finds his way back to the stream. So, but we do have a lot of great content coming up from you guys, including Paramindful and the Raw Watch Along tomorrow night. We have Taking Over and Turnbuckle Talk on Tuesday. Thursday, you got the doubleheader with myself and Papa Smokes, Bring Respect Radio and Fusion. And next Sunday, we've got Marvel Talk as well as Busted Out. So welcome back, Mr. Parrish.
I quickly did laundry.
You do very well. Multitasker. So is there any crazy news, any news, any interesting news, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for.
I guess one of the cool things is if we kind of like sports, we like free agency, right? We like the days where, like we want to know who our teams are going to get, right? Who's on the market, who's available. I mean, that's always fun. Like, who's moving, right? Jay White lost a loser leaves Japan match.
Wait, with this, hold on. Does this qualify as? Timing okay?
I mean, it happened. But no, Jay White.
We got it in there. That's what she said.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Jay White no longer affiliated with Japan. Yes, he definitely could still, do things from the American side, but speculation arose a lot prior to the Royal Rumble about whether or not we may or may not see a Jay White in WWE. And now it's kind of out there. And also one Kota Ibushi was quoted saying, it's still far too early to even rule out me going back to WWE in the future. So we're seeing a lot of, say, maybe Japanese or New Japan type talent maybe work their way into the American age. But it's interesting to see what's shaping up for the next couple months, because I'm going to put this out there. I think the Raw after WrestleMania is going to be one of the craziest ones to come, because again, we still have those two. You still have Naomi, who nobody knows what she's doing. You still have Nick Aldis. You still have Matt Cardona. And then there's a bunch of other contracts that are so-called expiring. So I think the off season of sports is one of the greatest things, but I think this is the time in wrestling where it's very interesting, because this is definitely where you see a lot of shape-shifting.
Yeah, you sure do. And again, you talk about the Raw after WrestleMania, but let's not forget the NXT and SmackDown after WrestleMania as well too. I'm sure are going to fall right into that same thing with debuts and call-ups and everything of the sort. And again, this is Triple H's first real kick at the can, and a big opportunity. People expect big, and at times this is what always delivered for fans, to see what kind of fresh faces we're going to see in the so-called season restart, I guess, of WWE. And that's what's going to be coming up, and all eyes are going to be on Triple H for what he can deliver. And he may or may not have a handful of people at his discretion. We don't know if anything's been signed, any agreements have been made, phone calls made. It's hard to speculate. And I hope that they do keep it a secret. I hope this is one the dirt sheets don't pick up on. I hope that they keep it private enough so that those debuts that do occur will 100% be top secret.
Yeah, and I think, especially nowadays, I think if you're able to fool your fans, or, I think one of the best examples of recent memory is like last year we got the return of Cody Rhodes, and that was very speculated, right? Expected, to say the least.
Yeah.
But then you didn't just go back a few years prior to that, where you got the Hardys, completely unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
Both pops were freaking huge, just deafening in those buildings. But the single fact that there's that excitement, like regardless, like you still can do something major out of WrestleMania. However, I don't know about you, but last year the Raw after WrestleMania was brutal to get through.
Yeah.
I don't remember the Raw after Mania when the Hardys came back. I'm going to be honest. I've had a lot of let's just say juice boxes since then.
Juice boxes. Nice.
Yeah. But I think this could be one that we won't forget, and I think one that's definitely going to shape it, because again, as you said, this is Triple H's first, road to WrestleMania, where he's the head of creative. I think he's going to make a statement with this. I'm very intrigued by it. But yeah, no, just the single fact that we're seeing Jay White actually in that position where it looks like he no longer is going to be affiliated with New Japan Pro Wrestling in Japan, I think definitely sets the stage on him moving elsewhere. The fact that Kota Ibushi actually didn't want to rule out WWE as a potential workplace for him in the future, I think is very interesting, especially when he refused to sign them after the Cruiserweight Classic. So I don't know. I think it's very interesting. Now, do I think Kota Ibushi is going to sign there? No. Do I think Jay White is? I actually think he should. I think this would be a very intriguing development. especially if you want to partner him up with the Good Brothers. I think there's a lot of story there. But then just see the amount of Bullet Club members in WWE right now. I think Triple H would be the one that understands the importance of, okay, this could be the time to do something along that line.
I think it'll also be the perfect time to let Jay White fly solo and stuff. Bring him in, and you can make those references all you want. But Jay White's the kind of character that you could have him come in and say, I'm done with the past. I have no want to keep looking behind me. I'm looking forward. It's all about me moving forward, and have him go in that direction. I think Jay White is fantastic. And I think that in that element going forward as a singles competitor, they could really have some mileage to get him towards the top.
Yeah, and I think too, like kind of as you were saying that, I was kind of already thinking of like a promo and be like, oh man, you know what's awesome about a switchblade is you have no idea how it can cut you. Therefore, it has many different faces. And that's a great point, because he can take this opportunity to establish his own path and his own curve. But yeah, it's going to be hard when and I don't think it's fair, or I don't think it's unfair to say Bullet Club was definitely a very successful faction, is a successful faction. It might be at the later years of it, but we cannot say it didn't completely run wrestling at some point. It was at one point one of the coolest things in pro wrestling. I'm not even a Kenny Omega guy, and I have a Kenny Omega Bullet Club shirt.
I'm going to call a timeout on the play here just for now, because, again, I only just noticed on the stream, and I just want to take this moment to give a big shout out. Astrid just did a subscription back to OLE for the 4 months running. Astrid, thank you for the support and doing that here today. We do appreciate it. And again,
for it too.
As promised, anyone who gives us a sub here on OLE gets a spin of the spinner, the money spin. So there, thank you, Astrid, for resubscribing here on our local establishment.
I'll just guarantee you I won't pee my pants. That's the best I can do at this point.
I really appreciate that. That's fantastic.
You do. I'm just doing laundry, finishing it. I'd be creating more work for myself. Talk about redundant.
It's only one extra pair. Come on.
I know, right?
Yeah. What do you wash them by hand? just in a wooden barrel with the old scrubber on the side.
So many juice boxes I have during the Super Bowl.
So where will you be watching the Super Bowl from this afternoon?
I will be at one of my best friend's houses, actually. It is also his birthday. So normally the Super Bowl is on the first Sunday of February, not the second. So never had a Super Bowl on his birthday. Probably never will again. But, who's to say? But yeah, so it's going to be fun.
Well, I hope he booked the next day off work. For his sake.
And it's actually funny you say that, because there's a thing going on in the States right now to make the Monday after the Super Bowl an actual national holiday. And you know what? I think it has legs. I think it has legs to run that 40-yard dash all the way to the end zone, because it is obvious to say that during the season, absolutely nothing embodies Sunday more than the NFL during the season. Nobody even beats it. Even WWE has a hard time competing against Monday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is a juggernaut of juggernauts, and it's definitely something that's taking shape, that it's a national thing now. Like, NFL football is a huge thing. Football is huge. I don't know when the last time you've been in the States is, but talk to somebody about college football, and holy crap, this is like, talking to me about beer. Like, it is insane. But
the champion
it's
beer.
almost like, right? But it's very, very wild that, for the first time, like, there could be a national holiday in regards to a sporting event. But I do think football to the United States might just have the wind to do it.
So would this national holiday be called Hangover Monday?
I hope so. Like, I hope it's just the most obvious thing. Like, that would be great. I mean, in Edmonton, we changed our CFL team from the Eskimos to the Elks. The team has yet to win a game at home in 2 years. They want to establish a younger fan base than, 70, 80-year-old people, which I understand. There's more, there's future to, 30-year ticket reigns, not minimal ones. But the fact that they haven't called the fan base the alcoholics, because that's really what they're doing, is getting drunk at the games, watching the team lose again.
If you're into CFL football, you're also a heavy drinker.
Yeah. So the fact that, you want to call this Hangover Monday, or just, I don't know, like Heartbreak Monday, because football is over. Like, it's weird to think that football is over tomorrow. It's a sad day.
It's Blue Monday.
Although in my fantasy league, trades open up as soon as the Super Bowl ends. That was, as pointed new co-commissioner, that was one of my number one rules. The offseason starts the second the game ends. It's going to be dirty.
So did you have any big gains, any big wins with your fantasy football teams this year?
I had insane, unexpected seasons. In one of my shoot job work leagues, I somehow got my money back despite having a losing record going into playoffs. So that was interesting. I had no business being in there. I just won the games I had to win, apparently. It was actually weird because the first year I was at this job, I won, and I actually had a 500 record. Same amount of wins, same amount of losses. I squeaked in and shot in. So I was just shocked to get my money back. I in another league where, with a couple of the boys, you might know them now as the Rads in the local Alberta scene. I did all right in that league. I was only the number one ranked team the entire year. It's fun. I definitely encourage fantasy football for anyone who's trying to get into the NFL and want to learn more about it, because it's a great way to kind of put your attention to more than just one team and learn a lot of things. I thought it was a great way, especially if you do that, because for me, I always use the video games for the NHL to kind of learn about the development thing. Okay, who are the players coming up and stuff like that. I think fantasy football teaches me a lot about the current landscape of football.
Yeah, I'm sure it would help as well too, and can't complain there.
Here's the thing. I actually did the math on my fantasy leagues not too long ago. Mm-hmm. I was in 14 fantasy leagues this year.
14, wow,
insane.
That's a lot.
I won. I ended up ahead $30.
Nice. Profits always good.
It was. I don't think I'm going to do it again. I don't think I'm going to be in 14 next year. But the single fact that I did not lose money, and I only won one league, so the single fact that I still won money was quite amazing.
That's impressive, and it never hurts to come out on top. That's for sure.
No.
Yeah.
I'd be a great female villain in the Bond thing because I'm losing on it top. Yeah. Didn't think you're going to get that one, did you?
Did not. That was a nice little swerve.
I don't think he played football, though.
No. Not to my knowledge.
Well, Keith Lee probably did, though. That had to be a lineman of some sort.
It would make sense.
Imagine you're that skinny white kid playing quarterback for the first time, and Keith Lee is just barreling down the field going to tackle you. I'd be like, ah.
And then he knocks you 10 feet the other direction, comes over and picks you up and is the nicest guy to you, makes you a cup of tea.
Call me Leonardo because I'm turtling all the way at that point.
And again, off the rails.
Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club? Turtle. Still, the fact that scene was not in that movie still bugs me to this day.
It's just in the advertising to make you go to the theater and go, what
it was the funniest, dumbest thing I saw in that entire trailer, and it's not in the movie.
And then
I was so mad when I watched that movie for free on TV, like 6 months after it came out.
I want my 90 minutes back, damn it.
It's Dana Carvey. You like, what do you like? Come on, how can you edit Dana Carvey? That's your first mistake.
Yeah. But of course, then it was Dana Carvey on his own, as opposed to being with, somebody like Mike Myers who could give some good comedy to the duo.
Yeah, it's like David Spade without
Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But then again, I just don't like Otis by himself. Weird.
I just don't like Otis.
Oh, I love Otis. Come on. Man, you did not like Otis during the Mandy Rose stuff?
No.
Oh my God, that was great.
I like him even less now.
Think about the gig that he had. You get to go to like another wrestler's house to shoot stuff. You get to act like a freaking pig, but then you just get to rub up on Mandy Rose.
I'm not saying that he did anything that he shouldn't have done. I just don't like him.
He is the closest thing I am going to get to a wrestling version of Chris Farley, and I'm all for it. And if Chad Gable is my like modern day David Spade, I'm okay with that as well.
Oh my God. It's just so
thank you.
So just annoying.
Bobby?
Frustratingly annoying.
Bobby?
No. Don't go make me get Gil Kevin in here already.
Shoosh.
Said I'm done. But I think we could probably honestly admit when the show's not retaining much attention because there's just us watching us. Pretty sure of it.
Yeah, so let's.
We had some people stop by. They said hello, and then they went to watch the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl doesn't start for another 5 hours.
Yeah, but isn't there like pre-game, pre-tape, pre-tailgate, pre-this, pre-that?
Oh, no, they just call that tailgating. There's tailgating at the Royal Rumble.
Well,
it was unreal. If it wasn't like 300 feet away, I probably would have gone.
You mean you didn't?
As you can tell. Well, as you can tell, I was in line for other things, as I think the after review show clearly indicated.
Well, yes, but you don't think the tailgaters would have had beer?
No, I would have to go climb a cage, and I didn't really want to. I didn't even know if I was in the right line to go to the gate. That was like, I was so lost there.
You were in fine form that day.
I had a good time. Had a good time.
So is there any other topics we want to talk about, or do we want to allow everyone to get their Super Bowl day on?
No, I think we are going to Hail Mary people to another channel. And
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
who are we going to Hail Mary them over to today?
Let's go to the 40-year-old bot.
I think so. I think
why not?
I think he could use an extra few viewers today. So
great. Let's add to the 117 that he has.
Let's just let the good people know where they can find us. There's that ticker down below for myself, and you're also going to be able to catch me in a live capacity coming up this week, Thursday night, on the Thursday night doubleheader. And unfortunately, not next Sunday on Busting Out, but I'm sure Chris Parrish will go off the rails with somebody at his side. And Parrish, where can people
I love how you're like, Parrish, let everyone tell you where you can find you, but my ticker's down here, so I'll go first.
No, I said where they can find us. I just went to myself first. I'm not drunk. You're drunk.
I'm not drunk. I'm happy. You can follow me on Twitter at Chris Parrish, Instagram on Chris.Parrish, Twitch at the Chris Parrish, YouTube. youtube.com/@ChrisParish. You can also email us here at olepodcast@gmail.com. That is the best way to not only bug us, but infuriate us, but also get to know us. And if you want to go off the rails next Sunday, well, there is an open invitation because, like the San Francisco 49ers, our starting quarterback over here is down, and, well, I'm no Brock Purdy. So, yeah. So let us know, and hopefully you can we'll have some fun. But yeah, Bobby, you want me to do the raid?
I've got it just about ready to go here. So if you're joining us on Twitch, you're about to go over to 40-year-old Bob, who's been a great supporter of us here on the channel. Give him a good old welcome. And if you're joining us on YouTube, stick with us just a little bit longer. And you will be taken to the finale here right away. But we want to ask you to go ahead and click the subscribe button down below and turn on the notification bell. We got a lot of great things going on here at our local establishment, and we need all your love and support. So we thank each and every one of you for tuning in, as always. And I won't, but Chris Parrish will see you next Sunday on a new edition of Busted Out. Take care, everybody.
You're ready to rock, we'll just let it roll. Are you ready now? Are you ready to move? Let's just move.